There's a simple way that you can force yourself to be consistent and do hard things. And it's not about having more motivation or being more disciplined. It's about having the right mindset. At 23, I was working 15-hour days, training 6 days a week, but I wasn't really growing or getting anything done at the rate that I wanted to. Fast forward to today, I've got to 10% body fat, moved to my dream city, and I've started a business where I've helped over 50 plus men transform their physique and transform their mindset. And in this video, I'll show you how to design a mindset that makes consistency automatic. This video is a one-on-one call I had with my client, Chitan is an attorney working 15-hour days while juggling a relationship with his wife and trying to better his physique and his mindset. And his number one bottleneck is consistency. So what you're about to see is me giving him the step-by-step framework to reframe his mindset to make consistency completely autonomous. So get ready, take notes, let's dive in. So I was looking at yesterday, still didn't hit your protein goals, nor did you hit your calorie goals.
Well, yesterday, before I spoke to you, I had get up on the day. Like I was like, whatever, I'm gonna eat something quick and go to bed. Might even do my steps. But after we talked, I kind of got a little more motivated. So after we spoke, I pretty much ate all my calories food afterwards. After we had spoken, and I got my steps in after that. So yeah.
So is it that you ate it and you didn't log it? Is that what you're saying?
No. So what were they yesterday? 152. That protein. Yeah. That's about all I got yesterday.
Okay.
Yeah, I started probably getting in so late that it was before going to bed, I saw I could comfortably eat,
Right. Okay. So it was a matter of you had given up on the day, and then towards the end of the day, got a burst of motivation and tried to make up for it.
Precisely. Yes.
Yeah. Whenever you have a mental defeat and you feel like you're ready to give up on the day, you have to immediately in that moment ask yourself, what's in my control right now? What can I actually do? And there's always going to be something, and doing something is better than nothing. And you'll find once you execute on one small task that's in your control, that will build momentum and confidence within you to go search for another task. And then your brain gets rewired to search for only solutions as opposed to obstacles. And no matter what's in front of your face, you will find a solution. So it's more so shifting your mind in those micro moments that will compound success and wins throughout your day, and then your week, and then your month, and boom.
Yeah. But no, I agree with you. And so that's what happened. So before we had spoken, I heard your voice notes, so I did some steps at that point, got a good amount then. Then I spoke to you, got some more steps in, and I was like, I'm kind of hungry now, so let me get some another protein I probably can.
Yeah.
And that's all it will do by the end of the day. And also not smoking, and I'm using weed more. I have a very low appetite. I'm trying to getting what I can, but it's kind of hard to eat at the moment. But I have things I have planned for the day that I know I'll enjoy eating, so I'm gonna eat those when I'm done with the call here.
Yeah. Is there certain points of the day where you're more hungry than others?
Like right now, I'm really hungry.
So you would say around 2 p.m. is when you're the most hungry?
Yeah.
If we look at your eating schedule here, I don't see any meals structured for 2 p.m. Correct me if I'm wrong, but this was the eating schedule that we built out originally.
Yeah, no, so I would say between 12 and 2, I would say is when I'm most hungry.
Between 12 and 2?
Yeah.
Okay. So I want you to have your biggest meal between 12 and 2.
Okay.
Whatever that might be, right? So typically you're having a chicken salad around 12 and 2. That's not enough. You want to leverage the moments when you're the most hungry if you're finding yourself struggling to hit the calorie and macro goals. So it's really the psychology behind, learning your tendencies, right? I tend to be hungrier here. I tend to be less hungry here. Play into your strengths and your weaknesses. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So 12 and 2, normally you have a chicken salad. 4 p.m. you usually have maybe steak and eggs. I want you to switch these two. But yeah, man, we got to start being a little better. I know consistency is the main thing for you right now. So I almost don't want to go into the micro details too much. But when I say consistency, I mean hitting the non-negotiables daily, every day.
Yeah.
That's protein targets, calories.
Yeah. No, for sure. I mean, like I said, I have these bursts of I'm gonna do it, and then something comes up and it takes me off my path, and that's the biggest struggle.
Right, and that's where structure comes in, right? Yeah. So what you want to do is make your structure non-negotiable. You see it all the time with guys who get massive bursts of motivation, but then, like you said, something comes up at work, stress you out, arguing with shorty, whatever it is, your motivation then drops to 0, and there's no middle ground. So you're all or you're nothing. And that's where structure comes into play. When you know, okay, I'm going to eat at this time, I'm going to train at this time, and start to structure when you're going to do it, and you visually see it in your calendar, and you start just adhering to the calendar and the structure over your emotions, success becomes inevitable, and you take it one block at a time. For example, what you could do is start setting reminders on your phone to align with this eating schedule. Set alarms. Hey, I'm normally hungry at 2 p.m. Let me set an alarm. I'm going to eat at 2 p.m. No matter how stressed I am in this moment, no matter what's going on, this is what I'm going to eat. Okay, this is what I'm planning on training the 4 days out of the week. I'm going to set reminders on my phone no matter how I feel. When that alarm goes off, I'm packing up and I'm going to the gym. And what you'll find is when you act in those moments, even when you don't feel like doing it, you'll always end up feeling better in the end. And what you need to notice about your tendencies is that whenever you choose the path of comfort, it feels gratifying in the moment. You satisfy your flesh, but your spirit is crawling for you to do something. And what happens is when you don't act on that thing you know you're supposed to do, you end up feeling 10 times worse in the end. And now you're battling. Your soul wants success, your soul wants prosperity, but you're not feeding it what it needs. And that's why you feel empty.
So that was like a wake-up call for me. Like, hey, like if I can do what I need to do, like how much will it help them in the future?
Exactly.
Exactly. You know?
Yeah. And you're starting to realize how you do one thing is how you do everything. So if you slack off with your meals, you'll end up slacking off with your training. If you end up slacking off with your training, you'll end up slacking off at work. If you end up slacking off at work, you'll end up slacking off with taking care of your family.
Yeah.
You know, because you're training your mind to have a set of habits. No matter what you do, you have an operating system in your subconscious mind. So when you operate on the premise of, it's not that important, you naturally will treat everything else the exact same way. But when you make things non-negotiable and when you're a bit more rigid about the things that are important to you, you'll find that you're more attentive around your family. You're more present, right? You'll find that you're more focused at work, start making more money.
Yeah.
And it all boils down, the best place to start with that is fitness, hitting your macros and training. It's simple. Because that's one of the only that's one of the only things that where your effort gives you a tangible result. You could physically see a change. Sometimes when you have, I want to show up more for my family, you can't necessarily like see, okay, I definitely checked that box. There's no visual for you to affirm, okay, I did that. But with fitness, there is.
There is, yeah, for sure. So I'm like I said, I'm gonna put my head down and do what needs to be done and not get too ahead of myself and too excited about it,
Yes, just take it one moment at a time. But also, stop celebrating success. And here's why. Do you celebrate brushing your teeth in the morning?
No,
Do you celebrate going to work?
No.
And because these things are ingrained as a habit, it's just a part of you. It's just what you do. So when you start to celebrate the fact that you were consistent, celebrate that you hit your macro goals, what is that subconsciously telling your brain? That this is not normal.
Something special.
Right, exactly. You're telling your mind that this is not normal. This is not who you are. Right? So even though you're praising the progress, which I think there's an element to that you need to have, you celebrate for a second and move on. Don't hone in on it. Right? Because when things are habit and routine, you don't celebrate them.
True.
And you have to assume the role of the version of yourself who already has this as a habit and routine now. And how do you do that? By not celebrating the success. Yeah, milestones we can celebrate 100%. But the small little everyday micro wins you need to be having, don't celebrate those.
Absolutely. I agree with you 100%.
Awesome, man.
Okay. Yeah.
Is there anything specifically you wanted to chat about, cover?
I want to know, like, so when you started doing this, like, how did it? So like, you told me you also had an issue with smoking, right?
Yeah.
So like when you had an urge or something, what did you do in that moment to fight the urge or not smoke and not go back to something bad? Like, what did you do in your life? You don't mind me asking.
The best way to stop smoking weed is to replace that habit with something else, something progressive. You can't eliminate a habit and replace it with nothing. That's where the cravings and the want is going to really duplicate. So what you want to do is find something you can replace your urges with. For me, when I wanted to go grab a joint, I would bang out 10 push-ups or something. Or I'd go for a walk. Right? You have to replace it with something. So maybe you like to read. When you get an urge to overindulge in something or to smoke, start picking up that book and do something progressive with your life. And then what you're doing is training your brain to utilize your addictive personality for progress. So what you have, you having a weed issue is actually your superpower. Because you can take that habit of weed and completely replace it with something progressive. You can use your addictive tendencies to channel that into something that will move your life forward. But the best way to do it is, number one, replace it with something else, something progressive. You have to move. You get the urge, you can't sit there and try and battle it in your head. You have to fill it with something. And then taking some deep breaths, 3 rounds, 10 deep breaths, and thinking to yourself, does the version of me I'm becoming do this? Does the version of me that I'm becoming smoke weed? If the answer is no, you don't negotiate. You don't negotiate.
True.
Make sense?
You know, yeah, I mean, so I mean, I think you've done like all you can like, as a coach. Like you always check in and give me all information. It's on me to implement it and execute what you're giving me. And like I said, man, my negative mindset.
Yeah.
It's like doing this. The whole this thing is like another job after I work in a full job, and that's better looking at it because I'm making it into a chore and
Yeah.
like something that needs to be a task I need to do, and not something that should be a normal routine thing. I'm feeling a little burnt out because I'm treating it like a chore.
Right. You have to shift your mindset when it comes to fitness that you don't have to go to the gym. You don't have to work out. You get to.
Yeah.
You have a healthy body. You have an opportunity to show up in the gym and make your body stronger, more physically capable. You have an opportunity every day to sharpen your mind and become somebody that your family can look up to. You have an opportunity to fulfill your potential as a man. You get to do all these things. These are all a privilege. There's somebody in the third world country right now with a blown off leg wishing they can show up at the gym, but they can't.
Yeah.
So number one is shifting your mindset from I have to I get to. Right?
True.
This is all a privilege. But also secondary is you're looking at it as a burden and as a task. But let me ask you the question. If you had abs, if you had the physique you wanted, showing up and hitting the gym, that would be a normal part of who you are, right? And what you'll find is that every time you do go to the gym and show up for yourself, you feel really, really good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So remember what I said about resistance. Resistance is the friction that breeds transformation. When something feels hard, that is a direct signal to do it, because on the other side of resistance is a well-oiled machine. It's the transformation you're looking for. So anytime you don't feel like going to the gym and you go, you always feel way better. Anytime you don't feel like going to the gym and you feel 10 times worse because you didn't break past the level of resistance. So how do you know you're leveling up? How do you know you're getting better? When you feel resistance. Every time you feel resistance, you're about to hit a new level. But if you let that resistance beat you, you'll fall right back to the way you were before. If you found this video helpful, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. I have countless other videos on this topic and plenty others to help you become your highest self. I appreciate each and every one of you. Peace out.